Hey everybody, I'm back. Um, I started a video the other day and then I got a call from my brother, so I had to answer that. So I didn't think it would be too cool to put that video up and then make it a part one and then have to come back and make a part two. So, um, my current situation, well, first of all, I hope everybody is doing good, and being blessed and enjoying life. Um, so an update. I was waiting to hear back from a company where I had a very good first interview. Did good on the technical quiz that they gave me. He liked my background, and when speaking with me, I was able to kind of connect the dots in my resume where there were some gaps or whatever. So it was good talking to that gentleman, and he told me that I should be hearing back from him once the audit was complete. And I was expecting to hear back from him early week before last to hopefully to have scheduled something for last week. And I didn't hear back from them. So I figured that, they still had some audit processes to complete or some follow-up corrective actions or whatever. So understandable. So I kept, looking for other positions just in case something did not occur. But I still remain hopeful, and I got a good feeling from the guy that I would hear back from him, and he wasn't just putting me on. So um, I did finally get an email from him, and he said, "Well, our audit ran a little bit late, and we'll be reaching out to you so that we can schedule something for next week." And he told me, "Thank you for the nice thank you letter for the interview." So I was happy about that situation. I'm still waiting to hear back from um, the other nonprofit where they put my resume in for an accounting manager. Even though I don't have documented supervisory experience that extends past 5 or 6 months or so, and they want at least a year. Um, but they kind of talked me into putting my resume in anyway, and just to see if I would be considered for it. So they told me to be on the lookout. So I'm still hopeful that I'll get an interview with them as well. And but the biggest news is that I put in an application about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And I was hoping to hear back from this company because it's a company that I used to work for. I worked for them uh, since they started doing business in that new company name back in 2012. And it was a company that I was very proud to work for. I still believe they have a very noble mission, and I wanted to be a part of that back then as well as now. So I put in my application about a month ago, and I was hoping that they would recall that I left on good terms. I left uh, because my wife had a medical condition that I felt required 24/7 care, and I thought it was necessary to resign my job to take care of it. So I did. In spite of the fact that they offered me a month advanced vacation, um, that I could take, and they would still pay me, and I could come back to the job. I didn't want to. I didn't want to accept that, not knowing what her situation and how her recovery would go. So I did resign from that job back in 2013. So I left on good terms. I thought I did a fantastic job, and I hope that they feel and felt the same way. So I had not heard back from them, and I was hoping that that there weren't any hard feelings or whatever issues that may have been don't seep back into the present. And I was talking to God and again asking Him to do what He does. And I was doing some painting upstairs, and I got a call on the phone. And usually I have my ringer turned off. I just happened to see it, um, and it said charity call, and the number looked familiar: 312-603 something 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 something. And I get so many solicitation calls, and it usually comes in as scam likely. But I answered it anyway, and I have to remind myself when I do answer the phone, don't answer it like, oh, this is a scam likely. So you have to act as if this person is your friend or a job calling or something like that. So I answered it nicely, like I answered it as if I had a smile on my face. And the lady said, "My name is such and such, and I'm calling from this particular company." And I was overjoyed to get that news that after 28 days of consideration, that they have decided that they want me to sit for an interview. And so we spoke briefly, and she said, "Are you available on Wednesday?" And I said, "Yes, I am." I didn't even let her get out the time. Whatever time she was about to say was perfectly fine with me. I would make it happen. And I guess she was sitting in office with another couple people, and somebody must have told her, "Well, on Wednesday, don't forget, I'm not available, or whatever." So she said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Fielder. Can you hold on one second, please?" I said, "Sure, sure, no problem." So that little negative spirit tried to come back. I said, "Boy, they about to pull their request for an interview right now, and you ain't getting nothing." I said, "No, don't, don't do that." So she got back on the phone and she said, "Well, that was my mistake. One of the people who needs to be there is not available on Wednesday at that time. Are you available Thursday at 12:15?" I said, "Yes, I certainly am available. I will make myself available." And so my first question was, is it a Zoom? Because I'm just so used to Zoom calls, Zoom interviews at this point. So she said, "No, actually, it's an in-person interview." So I felt great. I've been trying to get my little sport coats together, get my little suits all situated, and figure out different, ways to interchange the outfits and everything. And I've been trying to keep myself in a positive mindset, and sometimes wishing that a Zoom interview would have been an in-person interview, because sometimes you can make more of an impact in person compared to on a Zoom call. You get to see that flesh and blood person. You get to press palms, shake hands, and everything like that. So I was happy to hear that I have an upcoming interview tomorrow. So I've been pulling their audit reports, their annual reports, their Form 990s, trying to understand what programs have they taken on since I've been there. What are some of the differences in what they're overseeing? What might be some of the additional responsibilities as a result of these different additional funding sources? So I have a pretty good grip, and I'm not going to take anything for granted. Um, a person is never a shoe in. I'm not assuming, oh, because I used to work there and I had good relations with these people, and I still know, 70% of the, probably anywhere from 60 to 75% of the people that were there when I was there are still there now. I'm not taking any of that for granted. I'm coming in as if I have to prove my worth and be able to verbalize my experience and what I believe that I would bring to their particular table in terms of the work that needs to be done so that they can fulfill their mission and stuff. So I'm going to come um, knowledgeably. I'm going to do the background work and everything. So I was when I've been going around lately to talk to different companies about um, upgrading their refrigerant and their HVAC systems, because we have a eco-friendly refrigerant that you can replace with some of the refrigerants that are going to be um, phased out coming very soon. And they can promote anywhere from 15 to 40% energy efficiency and energy conservation. So that helps the ozone layer. It helps our ability to sustain our functioning here on this earth. Plus, you get tax credits for it too. So that was a big shout out to Zoetic and Zoetic refrigerants. Um, so when I've been going around talking to people at different places and stuff, I've been walking around with a manila envelope. Actually, hold on. So this is the unprofessional envelope that I've been walking around with, and I fill out my resume or the materials that I'm speaking with people about that I want to leave them or whatever. And this is not a good look at all. So I was determined to not show up to this interview with this ratty manila envelope. And I said, I need either an attaché or a briefcase. And I thought I had a briefcase, and I'm sure I did. It's somewhere. I'll find it when I need it the least. And I knew that I had a couple of attachés around, but it was attachés that you get when you go to a conference. So it's got somebody's name on it, National Association of Black Accountants or whatever accounting firm that I was going to a training at or something. And I didn't want to do that. So I started looking for briefcases. And of course, a good briefcase is going to cost you a minimum of $125. Looked on Craigslist, which used to be my favorite place to go to look for stuff. That and eBay. I wouldn't be able to do anything quick enough with eBay. So I looked at Craigslist, didn't see anything that made any sense. And then it dawned on me, go to OfferUp. I went to OfferUp, um, created my little username because I already had the app on my phone, but I had not created the profile and everything. So I looked for briefcases and I found some beautiful briefcases. I found $30 briefcases that are worth $150. And I emailed the people, let them know that I would need to be able to complete the transaction by today and to find out who's available. I got one response back from 4 or 5 people, and I'll be able to pick it up tomorrow, but unfortunately, it will be after the interview. So I didn't want to spend my morning trying to go get through traffic, go buy this briefcase just for that. So I bought a little carry around attache for tomorrow. So that'll look a whole lot better than popping up with a manila envelope. So I have my attache. I don't have it available, but it'll certainly look a lot better with these outfits that I'm trying to put together. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Uh, they're gonna get a nice big giant smile. They're going to get a person who is very willing to work, who understands their culture and the people there, um, understand the work that needs to be done. It's the work that I used to do. But like I was saying, they've taken on additional funding and created some additional programs. So I just have to be able to communicate with them that I'm certainly up to the task. I want to do a good job. I don't want to have to be moving around and trying to use this job as a stepping stone to get to the next place. Um, and I've already discussed with you all about, how I feel that my age has kind of led some people to not, um, led some people to not want to hire me. But anyway, that's my message for right now. I just got a message from my wife, so I do need to cut this off, but I'm going to be praying for you all. You all keep praying for me. Thanks. Okay, here I come. All right. Wow. Uh-oh. Still going? All right. Whew. All right. So that's it. That's the end of the story so far. There were no robbers at the front door. They just leaving some political flyers. So sorry about the distraction. And that's it. I'm out. Thanks.